It could have been improved tremendously.
Now what's going on here?
All right.
I can't get my mouse off of the page, and the page is moving. Let's see.
I don't know.
Uh, I'll figure it out.
It could have been improved.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good. So, okay, well, welcome, Jack Roddy, and it's wonderful to have you here on Monday evening. It looks like just the two of us, and I'm, baffled, but that's the way it is. So, Jack is wanting to look at chapter 10. Which section is that, Jack?
We're going to start right at the top.
Okay, from the
The
idols.
idols of thickness.
All right.
Are you saying when you're not here in 2 weeks, I can extrapolate those paragraphs?
Yes, you will be able to do this very thing.
It's all built into this Zoom?
Yeah, yeah. So how you do it then is I just realized that okay, so how you do it is if you look down on the bottom where you have the little camera and all the
Yeah.
okay, so there's a thing that says share screen and it's green.
Yeah, I got it. Uh-huh.
Okay, if you click on that, then it will come up with a thing and it'll ask you, how do you want to share your screen? Do you want to do a basic? Which is where if you click on basic, it'll show you everything that's on your
Well, basic is what's up there right now. That's what we want to do. Basic, right?
right. Yeah, yeah. You want to do
I'm going to hit
basic.
the share button.
Okay.
Now what?
Okay. And then what does it show you when you're looking at the basic?
Well, now you and I are up in the corner of
Right.
my
Oh, but
page.
okay, but I'm seeing everything. So you're not sharing anything in particular, you're sharing everything.
No, I just hit the word share.
Okay. So yeah, you have to pick what you want to share. So when you go to that share, I see your screen here, and all you have to do is click on which one you want to share, and then
All right, now let me go back to share.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
now you said basic, right?
yeah, very basic.
Oh,
Yeah,
I want to share the screen, right?
right.
Okay.
And then it when you say share screen, it shows you all your options, and you pick which one you want to watch.
All right, now which one do we want?
Any one that you want to pick.
I'm asking you. I can't see a damn thing. Which one do we?
I can't see anything either. I see everything that's on your screen. So you had to have picked it before
All
you
right, I'm going to
click
stop
share.
share. Let's try it again.
Okay,
Now, what do you want me to do? You want me to hit the share screen green button?
share screen. Okay, and when
All
you
right,
click
now
share
what?
screen,
Now
what do you see?
the screen in blue.
A screen in blue. So you don't
Yeah.
see any of your programs or
Now, I have Whiteboard. I have my email. I have
okay.
phone pad.
So click on which one of those you want to share.
No. The only one I want to do, Lynn, is the one we're doing. Which one do I do for you and I?
Well, it would have to be, you want to go, do you have chapter 10 on your computer?
On my computer. Why would I have it on my computer?
I don't know any. Oh my goodness.
Now, why would I have chapter 10 on my
Well,
computer?
because that's what you want to look at, isn't
Yes,
it?
but I'm sharing my screen now. What button do I hit to share my screen?
Okay, if you're going to share your screen, you have to pick what it is you want to share.
It's only the
So
choices
pick
here are
Google.
Whiteboard,
Yeah, pick Google.
iPhone, or my Eagle, my email.
Do you have Google? Do you have a search engine?
The Google's not listed here. We're under basic, right? Basic.
Right.
Under basic, I only have 4 choices.
Okay. And so okay, then all right. Let me just do this and maybe I can help you. So I'm going to go to share screen and click on basic. Okay. So now let's see what you're sharing to me.
I'm going to wait for you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do your thing.
I'm going to share screen. I'm going to click on basic and what I have there is on my screen, I have my window that has YouTube and all that kind of stuff on there. I have a window that has the chapter 10, which I just opened up in the Course in Miracles, acim.org. I have Pal Talk on my screen. I can click on that. So if I click on Pal Talk and say share, There you see what's going on Pal Talk.
Yeah, but why do you want to go to Pal Talk?
I'm just showing you that this is how you do it. You can pick whatever is on your
Yeah,
screen.
but I don't have Pal Talk on my screen.
I know. So you
I
don't
don't
have
have chapter
on it.
10
Do
on
you have
my
Google?
screen.
Do you have a search engine at all? Can you,
Yeah,
how do you
I have
search for
plenty of
things on
search
the
engines.
internet?
I have tons of search engines.
Open one,
Why?
because that's what you want to do if you want to share the text.
You want me to go to a search engine?
You have to go to Google or some kind of search engine, Foxfire, whatever it is that you use.
And you want me to put that on the share screen?
No, I want you to open that.
You want me to open Google
Just go to Google,
and put acim.org?
put acim.org.
It's not coming up. Let's see. Um, I mean, I would have been happy to do this before 7 o'clock,
That's okay,
but
honey.
we're taking up time from the content.
No,
My
this is
my
the
Google
content.
did not come up. My Google's not here.
You
Oh,
don't have Google on.
oh no, I have Firefox, I have Safari, I have
Pick
Google.
Firefox.
I have everything, Lynn. I already told you I have all those search engines.
Well, pick one and open it.
I already did. I opened
Okay, and
Google.
then type in acim.org
Uh-huh.
and go there.
By the way, it's not letting me come up. It's not coming up. The Google's not coming up. Oh, there it is. It's in the background. Let me pull it. All right. It's trying to come up.
This is good.
It's trying to come up.
Okay.
You want acim.org?
Yes, acim.org.
Okay.
Just tell me when you've got it
Not
open.
ready yet. It's slow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Now it's here. Now it's here. Now what do you do?
Okay. Then click on where it says read ACIM and click.
Yeah. All right. Now what after that?
Click
Entire
entire
ACIM?
web edition. Entire web edition. Yes.
Got it. All right. All right. All right.
All right. And then go over to the little, you can click on text and then just go to chapter 10.
By the way, my engine must be real slow because it's still spinning. It's not here yet. I guess I have to drop some of my cookies or some of my extensions or something
I don't
because
know.
it's still spinning.
Yeah.
It's slow. Yours is fast, right?
Yeah.
All right, now I got ACIM Course in Miracles. It's still spinning. Here we go. All right, you want text? Which one? Which
Mhm.
one do you want?
Text. And
Text?
then, yep. And then scroll down to chapter 10.
Man, this is wild. I never knew we had this.
This is this is a searchable search engine for the whole Course of Miracles with all the
I didn't
pamphlets and everything.
I didn't know we had this.
Yeah. This is the foundation for inner peace. Yeah.
I
So,
thought you had it, but I didn't know I had it.
oh yeah, everybody has it.
Yeah, see, I've been in the dark.
Well, I'm bringing you to the light.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Now,
so
how do I make this part of the shared screen?
okay, so now go to share at the bottom.
On what? Google?
Just leave that open. Do not close that. Just leave that open on
You
your
want me to
screen.
go back to my Zoom?
No, yes, go back to Zoom. Sorry.
You want me to go back to Zoom and do what?
And then click on share screen.
All right, hold on. All right, now I'm back on Google. I'm back on shared screen. Now I'm going to go down to the shared screen. And
Mhm.
now what? Now what?
Now do you see?
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see if it works.
Okay, and just click on that and click share.
There it is. Did it come up?
It's coming up. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
You got it.
Are
You
we still
got
in
it.
the picture? Are we still there?
Yes, we're still there. And so you can just X out over here this bar that says where the menu is, and you got the whole thing right there. Hey, Regis.
Right now, I don't see it. All
Oh,
I
it
see is
doesn't matter.
you and I right
Do you
now.
see the idols of sickness?
Yeah. Oh, I see that, but I don't see. Oh, yeah. You and I are on a separate little window,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start reading, and then you can read the second paragraph. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Chapter 10, A Course in Miracles, The Idols of Sickness. Are you going to scroll that thing up for me?
I can't. It's in your control.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to put us over here on the other side. All right, idols of sickness. Nothing beyond yourself can make you fearful or loving because nothing is beyond you. Time and eternity are both in your mind and will conflict until you perceive time solely as a means to regain eternity. You cannot do this as long as you believe that anything happening to you is caused by factors outside yourself. You must learn that time is solely at your disposal and that nothing in the world can take this responsibility from you. You can violate God's laws in your imagination, but you cannot escape from them. They were established for your protection and are as inviolate as your safety.
That's pretty amazing.
Reminds me of the line that you often quote that says, and nothing beyond you can make you ill, weak, sick, or frail. Nothing beyond your being can make you ill, weak, sick, or frail. You know that line?
Yes, I do. And
So this first line reminds me of that. Only you can make that happen.
only you can hurt yourself. Yeah, nothing can harm the Son of God.
Yes.
And it's guaranteed right here.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
want to read paragraph 2?
Sure, scroll it up for me.
There you go.
Okay. God created nothing beside you, and nothing beside you exists, for you are part of him. What except him can exist? Nothing beyond him can happen, because nothing except him is real. Your creations add to him as you do, but nothing is added that is different, because everything has always been. What can upset you except the ephemeral? And how can the ephemeral be real if you are God's only creation and he created you eternal? Your holy mind establishes everything that happens to you. Every response you make to everything you perceive is up to you because your mind determines your perception of it. That is just, I mean, can it be clearer?
Yeah. It reminds me of a line in the course that says perception is the witness to the thought system you want to be true. There's a line that says that the thought system you want to be true.
And I love it how Jesus's logic is so, if God is all there is, how can there be anything else? If God is all there is, then what are you? You've got to be a part of God because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that word ephemeral. I'm going to start using that. I just realized that because today I was in a conversation with a lady and she was, and her husband had passed away and we were talking about the body. And I said, we were talking about resurrection actually. And I was saying how Jesus said that his body was an illusion, as all illusions are. And she said, I don't like that word illusion because it seems like it's not real. And I'm still, experiencing the body as real. And I just realized the word ephemeral is a much more accurate.
Well, for most people, the word illusion is too literal to be able to use related to the body because you have to take care of your body. In the world of the dream, you do have to take good care of your body. So the word ephemeral is the definition is changing. Ephemeral is always changing. So ephemeral is a perfect word.
Oh, you know what you can do? Click on that word ephemeral or double click on the word ephemeral.
Why?
Just do it.
No, it won't let me. My mouse won't give me an arrow.
Oh.
Now let's go to the next paragraph.
Okay, let's go to the next paragraph then. You read it. Regis, I don't know if you're really here, but if you are and you want to read, please do.
His microphone
Okay.
is, he's got to turn his
Yeah,
microphone on.
yeah,
Paragraph 3. God
he'll
does
turn it
not
on if he
change
wants to
his
talk.
mind. Pardon?
I said he'll turn it on if he wants to
He
talk.
wants to, if he's here. Paragraph 3. God does not change his mind about you, for he is not uncertain of himself. And what he knows can be known because he does not know it only for himself. He created you for himself, but he gave you the power to create for yourself so you would be like him. That is why your mind is holy. Can anything exceed the love of God? Can anything then exceed your will? Nothing can reach you from beyond it because being in God, you encompass everything. Believe this and you will realize how much is up to you. When anything threatens your peace of mind, ask yourself, has God changed his mind about me? Then accept his decision, for it is indeed changeless, and refuse to change your mind about yourself. God will never decide against you, or he would be deciding against himself.
Pretty straightforward.
You want to do 4?
Sure.
I,
Which
I,
pretty much means that, nothing here, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. There we are. Was
yeah.
that was that the last of that pair
I
that
don't know. I hit a button called next page or
okay,
something.
yeah. Here, do me a favor. See,
Yes.
right at the left-hand side column next to where the text that you just read, there's the menu bar there.
On the
Go up
left-hand
and
side,
yeah, go up and click X out that menu bar.
X that out.
X the
We
menu
don't
bar
need
out.
that now. Yeah, we don't need that
Yeah, we
now.
don't need that. And when you do that, then see that little arrow going back the other direction there in the
Yeah.
middle? Okay, just click it and you'll go back to the last page.
Well, we don't need to go back.
Oh, was that the last paragraph? There was only 3 paragraphs. Oh, that's an introduction. Okay,
Three
gotcha.
paragraphs.
Okay, so go forward.
Roman numeral 1, at home in God. That's yours.
Okay, at home in God. You do not know your creations simply because you would decide against them as long as your mind is split. And to attack what you have created is impossible. Remember, but remember that it is as impossible for God. That's huge. The law of creation is that you love your creations as yourself because they are part of you. Everything that was created is therefore perfectly safe because the laws of God protect it by his love. Any part of your mind that does not know this has banished itself from knowledge because it has not met its conditions. Who could have done this but you? Recognize this gladly, for in this recognition lies the realization that your banishment is not of God and therefore does not exist. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, tell that to the people in the insane asylum.
Oh, sure. Well,
Tell that to the people in the psychoneural hospital.
tell that to the people in the grocery store. Tell that to the people in the elementary school.
You tell that to the people who are having psychotic breaks and
Everybody's having a
suffer from
psychotic break.
psychosis.
Unless they are a person actually has a knowledge of what they are, who they are having a psychotic break. Everybody is. That is the common thread throughout all of our culture. It is psycho. None of it makes any sense at all. And the reason is because people do not know themselves. They don't know who they are. And so they're in this fearful place. And that's what this is just talking about. If we knew, if we were exposed to the reality of what we create, we would kill it. We would
Uh-huh.
just like we killed Jesus. We would destroy it because this is a thing that is too scary for me to think about.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it. I can't conceive of it. I don't know what it is, and so I'm going to attack it. And that's we attack ourselves. We attack God. Um, but that doesn't matter because what we are can't be threatened.
Okay, I'm going to read paragraph 2, if that's okay.
Okay, go right on ahead.
And if Regis wants to speak up, he can speak up too. He's still got his microphone blocked off. You are at home in God, dreaming of exile, but perfectly capable of awakening to reality. It is your decision to do so. Oh, is it your decision to do so? You recognize from your own experience that what you see in dreams you think is real while you are asleep. Yet the instant you waken, you realize that everything that seemed to happen in the dream did not happen at all. You do not think this strange, even though all the laws of what you awakened to were violated while you were slept. It is not possible that you were merely shifted from one dream to another. Oh, or is it not possible that you merely shifted from one dream to another without really waking? Mm.
Yeah.
That's a different way to look at life or reality, but it is true in the metaphysical definition of A Course in Miracles, from one dream to another dream.
Yeah. It is a dream. And it's just as real a dream as the dream that you dream at night when you're sleeping. When you're in that sleeping dream, you believe that it is real, just as real as you believe this right here is real. And you tell me there's a difference. There's not. It's all equally unreal or ephemeral. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's good. That's good. It's good for people to understand that comparative as a way to help them understand that what their awakening really is.
That's why we were given sleeping dreams. I believe it says somewhere that the Holy Spirit gave us sleeping dreams so that we could recognize the difference between the dream state and the awakened state. Then we can recognize that what we're experiencing here is a dream, because that's our a primary purpose for being here is to recognize, just to realize that we're dreaming.
First, the dream we have when we're asleep, I don't know about you. I mean, I try to do lucid dreaming so I
Mm-hmm.
have some control. But if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in lucid dreaming, I have no control where that dream's going to go.
I'm surprised you have any control at all. Anytime if I become lucid in my dream, I wake up.
Well, if you can stay in the lucid state and be half awake, you can
Hmm.
steer that dream around a little bit if you work at it.
Oh yeah, but I do that all the time. I call that, using my imagination.
Yeah. But if you're not in lucid dreaming and you're in REMs, you have no control. I have no control over where that dream's going to go.
Yeah.
And that's pretty well, it can be scary. But if of course if I have a scary dream, it wakes me up eventually.
Yeah, this is scary. So, yeah.
Okay, let's go to paragraph 3.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah, thank you. Yeah, there we go. Would you bother to reconcile what happened in conflicting dreams? Or would you dismiss both together if you discovered that reality is in accord with neither? You do not remember being awake. When you hear the Holy Spirit, you may feel better because loving then seems possible to you, but you do not remember yet that it once was so. And so it is in this remembering that you will know it can be so again. What is possible has not yet been accomplished, yet what has once been is so now, if it is eternal. When you remember, you will know that what you remember is eternal and therefore is now. And of course, I mean, how many of our lessons say these words? Let me remember, let me remember, remember. And, I always think that beautiful statement in the manual for teachers in the clarification of terms that says Jesus was a man who saw the face of Christ in everyone he saw, and so he
Yeah, yeah, that's
remembered God and became associated with the Christ. So that's it. To remember God, you know, the
yeah,
Christ is everywhere.
yeah, very good. And I'm going to read paragraph 4.
Okay.
You will remember everything the instant you desire it wholly. For if to desire wholly is to create, you will have willed away the separation, returning your mind simultaneously to your creator and your creations. Knowing them with a capital T, you will have no wish to sleep, but only the desire to waken and be glad. Dreams will be impossible because you will want only truth, and being at last your will, it will be yours. Uh-huh.
So have you practiced that?
That paragraph?
Just just wholly desiring nothing but to awaken, just putting yourself
Sometimes,
into a place where you just work.
sometimes I
Yeah,
practice that, yeah.
yeah. It's not
Uh,
easy.
I don't mess around with conflict and discord and anger and dissonance. I don't mess around with any of that stuff. I'm not into discord and adversarial anything. I do enjoy confrontation, but confrontation on a win-win basis, not confrontation to make somebody wrong and make me right. Just confrontation is a form of intimacy. It's about getting clear on each other and where you stand.
As long as it's perceived that way, I'm sure it's great. And I just obviously uh have to always think that I personally would not say confrontation is something that I appreciate or care to do. I do care to communicate, and I do care to have a conversation. But I don't see the necessity to be confrontational
Yeah,
at
the
any
way
point.
I think it's sad that you have a perception of the word confrontation in a rather dark and negative way. I think confrontation is a form of intimacy and it's very holy. I'm confronting you to get clarification on what you're saying and or believing. Is what that's the word confront. I want to confront you so I'm clear and I can communicate with you clearly. And so that's confronting another person.
So okay, so how would you? I call that having a conversation. I
Well,
wouldn't call it
yeah,
but
I think you put a negative trigger on the
well,
word
yes,
confrontation for
because the
yourself.
word confront means that you're putting up a front. You're to me in my mind, I hear the word confront and I think I want to present my thought to you and then
And I want to hear your thought to me.
I want
Right.
to hear you, but that I wouldn't call that confrontation. Confrontation to me is completely different.
I
Uh,
think the preposition, the prefix con,
mhm.
I think that has something to do with together, doesn't it, con?
Oh,
Con,
let's
con,
look
isn't
her
that
up.
together?
Uh,
The
I
word
think it
con,
means against. Con means against.
okay, against. But the opposite of confrontation to me is being a people pleaser.
Oh,
Okay,
then
you say
then
so, whatever you
that's a
say.
judgment also, and not at all. Uh, okay, confrontation, a hostile or argumentative meeting or situation between opposing parties. That is from the Oxford Dictionary.
Oh, okay. Well, I just don't see it that way. I mean, if you're confronted and you get scared, that's the ego.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of Marshall Rosenberg
Yes,
in nonviolent communication?
yes, I know. I've heard all about him.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I took intensive. I went through a 9-month intensive course, studying nonviolent communication and practicing nonviolent communication. Um,
And what's your point?
and my point is that that's a really good way to communicate with people, without uh for me, what it was a good way for me to look at my own thinking and recognize what I was expressing when I was speaking with people, and
Yeah.
how I was presenting myself when I was speaking with people. And because before I took those classes, before I started listening to Marshall, I was, someone said nonviolent communication, and I said, I'm not a violent communicator. I don't know why I should have to take a class like that. But then I started looking at my conversation, and I started looking at the way that I communicated. And I began to realize that I was violent as hell. I was judgmental. I was, spending, it just, it didn't, you wouldn't have thought it. People
How
think,
long ago did you take that class?
it's been, gosh, 6, 7 years ago.
You don't seem any different to me than you were 10 years ago.
Well, and you wouldn't think that, yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, Lynn, you're violent." I could see it in my own mind. I could see how I was judging when I was having a conversation. I could see how, this conversation here, I could be thinking, um, uh, you know, you know, Jack, Jack is trying to, push something over on me, or yeah, trying to be confrontive with me, and and instead of treating Jack as if he was my beloved brother, whom I'm just so grateful to be with, I want to react and act out because I'm being confronted. I think I'm being confronted. That's how I used to always think about everything. It didn't matter what it was. Any relationship with people, I always felt like, they were going to try to get something over on me, or trying uh, whatever I thought in my mind.
So how did you change that?
I changed that by developing what Marshall calls and what Carl Rogers calls unconditional positive regard. uh, that I don't engage in a conversation unless I first set clear in my mind that this person that I'm talking to is holy, and that the purpose of the conversation is to have a holy encounter. Now, that's not Marshall's words. That's not anything. That's Jesus from A Course in Miracles. But it's exactly it. It's exactly the absolute regard of the other person as being of value, and not just of a little value, of great value. This conversation about confrontation has been of great value to me
Yeah.
because it's opened my mind to a lot of other things that I hadn't really thought before. And so I could have been, judgy and angry and thought, Jack's being a jerk. And, I could have had all sorts of thoughts about you if I
Okay.
had already set up in my mind that I refuse to change my my loving heart to become a judge or an attacker, and I'm not going to let it happen.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what not NBC did for me was show me the violence that I expressed on a regular basis and experienced on a regular basis, and also showed me how to see things differently. So
Okay. All right. I'm going to read paragraph number 1 on Roman numeral 2. Okay.
okay, sounds good.
The decision to forget. Unless you first know something, you cannot dissociate it. Knowledge must precede dissociation, so that dissociation is nothing more than a decision to forget. What has been forgotten then appears to be fearful, but only because the dissociation is an attack on truth. You are fearful because you have forgotten, and you have replaced your knowledge by an awareness of dreams because you are afraid of your dissociation, not of what you have dissociated. When what you have dissociated is accepted, it ceases to be fearful. Hmm. Well, that reminds me of selective memory, selective remembering. I have people in my family that have selective memory. I can tell because when I bring certain things back up, they don't remember them. Or I have selective memory too, and we all remember them differently too. You know what that is.
Oh, absolutely. And what I actually discovered when my sister passed away, and the family of us children came together. And what I came to realize is that each one of us had a different story about the same things that happened in our childhood. Uh, saw it a different way, there was a different this. It was amazing to me,
Yeah.
how different our perceptions were, and yet it was the same thing that happened. So yeah, it's not selective memory. It is my memory. It's
Well,
what.
also too, we all had different parents. I mean, my younger brothers and sisters had different parents than I had
Mm,
because they're 12 and 16 years younger than me.
oh my
That my
goodness.
parents were different people than when I was 10 and they were 10.
Yeah.
So we did have different parents. So that's very true. My dad was 23 when I was born. When my brother was born, my dad was 30, 35.
Wow.
He was a different man then.
Yep.
So part of it is part of the dream, and part of it is then people do remember things differently too. That's very true.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes. I mean, think about, I mean, that's why eyewitness accounts are really variable and not really very reliable in court because people see what they are conditioned to see, and and they make their judgments on things as well. So,
Yeah,
if you made a judgment that a person is guilty, then what you're going to see in their behavior is way different than if you made a decision that they were innocent or that they're neutral and you knew nothing about them. But no one's neutral, so
there is no such thing as neutral.
no.
In thought or perception, there's no neutral. Okay, you want to read paragraph two?
Sure. All right. Yet to give up the dissociation of reality brings more than merely lack of fear. In this decision lie joy and peace and the glory of creation. Offer the Holy Spirit only your willingness to remember, for he retains the knowledge of God and of yourself for you, waiting for your acceptance. Give up gladly everything that would stand in the way of your remembering, for God is in your memory. His voice will tell you that you are part of him when you are willing to remember him and know your own reality again. Let nothing in this world delay your remembering of him, for in this remembering is the knowledge of ourself, of yourself. Remember, 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 remember.
That's a very interesting paragraph. This whole area has some complexity to it in terms of the wording, so you really have to pay attention to the words in each sentence too.
Yeah, you do. And when he says, give up gladly everything that would stand in the way of your remembering, that's basically everything that you
Well,
think you know.
yeah, when I would listen to you read that, I thought that's all the idols that you put before God. If you put any idols before God, that's what stands in the way of remembering.
Hmm.
So right away, the give up gladly everything, that was reminding me of idolatry.
Yeah. And what bigger idol than the body? The the life, the children, the all the things that we treasure, that we think that are so important that we, if we had a choice, would you rather, be with God right now or be with your, children or whatever? Most people would rather be with their children. They don't want to die. They don't want to go be with God. They think that means to die, to go to be with God, but really it doesn't at all. But yeah, everything because the secret is that's not really a secret is that you don't lose anything. You know, if you give up this world, you give up this world, the only thing that will be gone are the things that are uncomfortable and bad and hard and sad and all the only thing that's left is the love because that's the only thing that's real and that love is the reason that you love your children and the love is the only thing that matters about any of it. So if that was the only thing you had left, why would you want to keep the pain? Why would you want to keep the bad memories, the suffering? Give
I
them
was
up.
at I was at a luncheon last week, and the woman next to me, who's an event planner for Live Nation, and a very articulate, very wonderful woman, young woman. She started talking to me while we were eating our lunch before the speaker came on, and she asked me, something came up about funerals or something. Oh, I know what it was. I have a cousin that works for Live Nation in North Jersey, and I told her my cousin lives there, and I said the last time I saw her was when we buried my our aunt. Our aunt passed away last November, and this woman with Live Nation said to me, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you lost your aunt." And I said, "Oh, Genevieve, don't worry about it. She was 97 years old. She couldn't wait to move on. And we were all glad to see her lay her body down and move on because she was suffering at that age and she was in a nursing home. So she was ready to go. But I didn't want to discount her compliment of I'm sorry you lost your aunt, but I was trying to give it a better context for her to realize that my aunt was ready to go anyway because she was
Yeah,
97.
nothing was lost,
Nothing was really lost.
except
And
she
that's
was
the
probably suffering in some ways, I'm sure.
well, when people connect with you and you say you lost your aunt, they right away want to extend a hand of compassion to you, you know.
Yeah, and that's lovely. That's so beautiful, and I would never ever, insult somebody by saying, "Well, death is not real," which a lot of people will do, because I mean, anytime someone reaches out to you in that kind of way, it's a gift, and you
I
know.
don't know anybody that would say death is not real to somebody who said sorry you lost. I would not agree with you at all on that.
I think people have in the past. In fact, I know Course in Miracles people who have, I mean, Course in Miracles people, not to someone in the
Well,
general public.
if they've done that, they've misconstrued the course. Then
Oh
they've got
yeah,
the course mixed up.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Somebody who
gosh,
said, "I'm sorry you lost your aunt," it's good to be able to accept that.
yeah, yeah. I know somebody who was supposed to be going to a conference, and their father passed away, and they called the person who was running the conference and said, I can't make it. Can I get a refund of my whatever because my father passed away? And the guy said, well, you knew your father was sick when you bought the tickets, didn't you?
Oh dear, that's not good.
No.
That's not the right response. You knew your father was, oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I
let's
heard
go to
some pretty
paragraph
awful
three.
stuff, Jack. Let's go on to paragraph 3.
Who's reading now? Is it
Is it
me?
me? I think I'm odd.
Are you odd? Okay.
Yeah, I'm odd.
All right.
Okay, so 3. Okay. To remember is merely to restore to your mind what is already there. You do not make what you remember. You merely accept again what is already there, but was rejected. The ability to accept truth in this world is the perpetual counterpart of creating in the kingdom. God will do his part if you will do yours, and his return in exchange for yours is the exchange of knowledge for perception. Nothing is beyond his will for you, but signify your will to remember him, and behold, he will give you everything but for the asking.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Well, isn't that what the course is about? Remembering remembering our true self, right?
Yep. And being willing to
Uh-huh.
remember.
Yeah. God will do his part if you do yours. Now, the exchange of knowledge for perception, that's a tough one because I always think knowledge is only of God and perception is of the sonship.
I think that's what he's saying. He's going to exchange knowledge for our perception. I think when we give him our perception, he will replace it with knowledge.
But we're not, we don't have the ability to embrace knowledge, do we? I thought that was only of
Oh,
God.
of course we do. Well, we, the ego doesn't, but we who we are absolutely can.
Okay, okay. Perception is of the dream. The perception is in the dream world.
Yeah.
You can have right perception or wrong perception, or what they call wrong-mindedness or right-mindedness, right?
Yep.
Same thing as right perception, wrong perception, I think.
Yeah. Same thing.
And
Yeah.
it's all part of the being in the world of love in your body and in the world, being coming from love is right perception.
Exactly. Exactly. And that there's a section of course that's called from perception to knowledge. And
Oh,
it talks about how we go from the world of perception to
what chapter is that in?
I don't know, let me look.
Well,
Let
that's okay.
me
It's almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about time. But if you let's see, I'm just gonna there if you get to know this search engine you've got here because it's very cool and you can type in any word and it'll tell you um where it is, how many times it's used.
Go under acim.org. It's all
Uh-huh.
in this website. Wow.
Yeah, this guy Felix Akala did it and he is like a genius.
What's his last name?
Akala, Acala.
Felix Akala. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, okay, it's in text chapter 13, section 8, called From
Okay,
Perception to Knowledge.
I'll remember that.
Yeah,
Can you read
so
one more paragraph before we close out?
sure. Yeah, go ahead and read the last paragraph, or read one more anyway.
Okay, number 4. When you attack, you are denying yourself. You are specifically teaching yourself that you are not what you are. Your denial of reality precludes the acceptance of God's gift, because you have accepted something else in its place. If you understand that this is always an attack on truth, and truth is God, you will realize why it is also always fearful. If you further recognize that you are part of God, you will understand why it is that you always attack yourself first. Wow. That's good.
Yep. Teaching you that you are not yourself.
You're teaching yourself that you are what you are not. You're teaching yourself that you are not what you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? Before we close out, I wanted to tell you I did an improv class this summer, and it was like 8 sessions,
Hmm.
and we had 10 people in the class, and one of the young women in the class wanted to meet with me just to connect, or I didn't know what was on her mind, but she wanted to meet with me. So just before tonight, we met at a local place nearby, and she was telling me all about her life and what she's up to, and she wants me to coach her, and then because I'm a coach. And then she said to me, Jack, I wanted to tell you that everybody in your class really loved you. Everybody in our class really loved you and who you are. And it was just like the greatest compliment that she gave me. That she said, how much I was appreciated in the class. And it was an improv class, so it's not a heavy class. It's all about having fun and making stuff up and learning how to act. But that was just such a great compliment. I really took it in.
That is beautiful. And especially, it's good to know that you're lovable.
Yeah,
You're
this this,
loved and
this
you're
young girl, she's
lovable.
only 32 years old. She's young.
Yeah.
She has a girl, 6-year-old daughter, right? but it was so nice to hear that from a young person who was with me in a class. For to hear that kind of a compliment was very nice.
It is.
Sometimes when I come on here, Lynn, I sometimes feel that I'm too direct. I can be a little bit confrontational. I don't always feel, I don't always know how I'm perceived here, but I also do love feedback. So
Oh,
feedback is part of who I am.
well, let me just tell you this here. I'm going to just thank you, Jack Roddy. Don't go away. Thank you, Jack Roddy. This has been a really wonderful session.